there, remember me? Been a long time, hasn't it? Hey, it's Robert Earl out here at the Eco Ranch Sustainable Living Educational Center in far west Texas, minus Cascade the Wonder Dog because he didn't want to wander in here. So I'm in the greenhouse. Thought I'd do I hope this is a short video, but I thought I'd do one video. I've got a couple more coming up. I'll tell you about those in a minute. But we all have an elephant in the room right now that we have to worry about and discuss. Now, I have not been on YouTube checking other people's channels to see who's doing their video or their take on the COVID-19 virus. But I thought, well, let me do my take on it. But it's going to be a little different than what you might expect. And here's why. You've heard everything you need to hear and contradictory sources and. But this is an opportunity. Everything that happens in our life is an opportunity. This becomes an opportunity for those of you that are unhappy. You might not even know what you're unhappy with. You're just not happy with life. You're struggling with this life debt that keeps mounting because of credit over here. You're in a career or a job that really does nothing, goes nowhere, doesn't give you any satisfaction. And you're out there eating out 5-6 times a week or more. You're buying useless stuff. You're buying new clothes when you've got perfectly good old clothes, but people have seen it once or twice, so you better buy new stuff. In other words, we're over-consuming. Well, right now, we have an opportunity to cut all of that crap right now without looking weird because everybody's gone a little bit crazy right now. You can cut out all that foolishness, all this eating out when you've got food, costs you money, all this buying of stuff you don't need but somebody on television told you or you saw somebody on the street with it. Right now is the time where you can cut that. You can cut that foolish, overconsumptive spending out and actually put more money in your pocket. You know, it's not what you make. It's what you save. It's what you keep. Not what you make, it's what you keep. So keep more. Take this opportunity right now to not do all these silly things. Go out to a bar and have 3 or 4 drinks. What's that cost now? $30, $35 to have 3 drinks in a bar? I can make them at home for $2 or $3. I mean, let's cut some of that stuff out. You guys you're watching this because you're interested in living sustainably and living a better, happier life. Well, take a little bit of advice. Cut that stuff out. And while the world is gone crazy, cut it out right now. And hey, while you're at it, stop hoarding. You really need 8,000 rolls of toilet paper. I was at the grocery store the other day. There wasn't a paper product to be found. Why? Why do you need to stockpile paper products of all things? Why are you stockpiling dairy and cheese? Eggs! I got news for everybody that's out there stockpiling eggs. Those chickens are programmed. They lay an egg every 16 hours. Whether you've got the COVID virus or not, they're going to lay an egg every 16 hours. You don't need to stockpile eggs. Those cows all need to be milked twice a day, whether you buy it or not. Don't stockpile that stuff. For crying out loud, use less toilet paper. Don't stockpile the stuff. I need toilet paper in my house. I went there to get a pack of toilet paper. There's no toilet paper to be had. It's okay. I've got paper towels. I have a little toilet paper. And I got a big box full of socks that when I get holes in them and they get worn out, we wash them, throw them in a big box. We used to use them for dog toys. Now we've got them in there, and guess what? If I run out of toilet paper, I got old socks. But stop hoarding. I mean, be sensible. The tap in your house still works. You can turn it on, and guess what comes out? Water. Doesn't have to come out of a bottle. Water comes out, and it's drinkable water. That's not what Nestle is telling you. You got to drink it in single-use plastic bottles and follow the ocean. According to them, anyway. Your tap still works. Cut this foolishness out. Start keeping more of what you make now while the world's gone crazy so that the new normal that we create together is going to further help the planet. We can help the planet by cutting overconsumption right now during this crisis, this health crisis. Now that's the end of that one, but let me get into, it's not really the end of that, but let me get into to something else. Well, those of you that have followed my videos and have been in the greenhouse on some of them may have wondered what's going on. There's not so much greenery in the greenhouse right now. Well, a couple of things. First of all, it's time to move from the fall-winter planting into the spring-summer planting, and that's what I'm doing right now. My tomatoes had gotten old, and I took the opportunity to get them all out of here. I've got new ones planted. I am cleaning out a lot of the stuff that we had. Growing here, eating me up, is broccoli rabe. We don't particularly like it, so it's all going today, and we're replanting the whole thing. But here's something I want to tell you about replanting or about food. Now again, the crisis creates an opportunity. An opportunity for those of you that have said, boy, I would like to have a little greenhouse. I would like to have a garden. I would like to do this. I would like to do that. Why can't you do it now? We have an opportunity. Stay-at-home orders, you know, never mind how you feel about them. You're going to be at home. Why not plant a garden? Why not take a whole bunch of stuff? I want to show you something that I've been saving, oh gosh, for 8 months now. You know, I may try to live sustainably, but like you, I've got my weaknesses. Some of my weaknesses, one of them is paper towels, and another one is Ziplocs. I buy too many of them. But another one of my weaknesses are these little ramen noodle things that, I love the ramen noodles in little packets, but I've been buying these things. They're about 85 cents each. You know, they come with some noodles and some seasonings and some chopped up vegetables in them. And that's my lunch every day. That with a hard-boiled egg and some leftover meat, and while cabbage is still here, some cabbage. But anyway, I save these. And I must have 100 of them right now, right about 100. Hey, punch a few holes in the bottom. Put some potting soil in it. You can grow lettuce for yourself right in this, on your windowsill, under a light. Doesn't always have to be a grow light, but that's one thing you can do. And here's the reason. We're in, and you've heard this and it's going to be overused, but we are actually in a wartime set of circumstances right now. Now the problem is, there's nobody around that you're going to pay attention to that remembers what it was like to be in a wartime set of circumstances. I mean, think about it. The people that, the greatest generation, those that are still alive are in their 90s or in their very late 80s. You people don't pay attention to, especially you young ones. You don't pay attention to them. Oh, some old farts out here talking about the way it was at the Battle of the Bulge, and we had K rations, and what. You don't pay attention to him. Well, you probably should. You know, I'm 67 years old, but my father was 49 when I was born, and my mother was 41 when I was born. That means, if you do the math, they lived through World War I, World War II, the Dust Bowl, the Great Depression. Oh, and one other thing. The pandemic of 1918, the Spanish flu. Half of what I do here is a result of what they told me from those experiences as I was growing up when they weren't old people. I listened, I heard. I try to pass that on to you folks. Whether it gets through or not, I don't know. But now is the time when we have to think about it. This is a wartime set of circumstances, because whether these shortages are because of people hoarding or because of profiteering, which, you know, I kind of lean towards profiteering. I'm seeing that happening right now. At any rate, the result to you is still the same: shortages and high prices. Now, what did we do? President Roosevelt came out right as we were gearing up, and it took us, what, 3 months to gear up for World War II, to go from a regular economy to a wartime economy, to go from making Hudsons and Nashes to making tanks. It didn't take us very long. And Roosevelt said, and another thing you need to do is go out and create a victory garden for every member of your family. And I forget what the size of the plots were. It seems to me that our victory gardens were like 10 feet by 20 feet. One for each family member. That meant my family had 7 victory gardens. And we kept them through World War II. And of course, what happened right after World War II was Korea. We kept them through Korea because there were food shortages, real, not profiteering food shortages. So what happened? My mother kept those going, and when the Korean War ended just before I was born, but my mother kept the Victory Gardens going for all of us for several years. And I remember sitting in, I've said this before, sitting in my little jumper while my mother tended those Victory Gardens. That's what gave me the love for growing things now. Well, now's the time for you to plant your Victory Garden. Victory over COVID-19. It's real simple. You're going to hear this wartime economy, wartime set of circumstances over and over and over again. That's going to stay there. And they're right, and you're going to get tired of hearing it. But they are right, we're on it. So why don't you? You can't change a lot of things, but why don't you set up your own Victory Garden? Whether it's this, a plot of land in your backyard, if you have one, if you're lucky enough to have one in this economy that's happened since 1984, or the windowsill of your apartment. Yeah, even a basement for that matter. You can set it up. You can do it. Why can't you do it? Always ask yourself, why can't I do it? Then overcome the reasons you can't. Pretty soon you'll find out you can do it. Set it up. That's what I'm doing here, and that's what I wanted to get to. We took the long way, though. I cleaned out a lot of the stuff we had. I cleaned out the tomatoes. What I've noticed was the tomatoes in here, now you'll see a couple tomatoes here, but they're actually rooting to go in soil. The tomatoes in here created a lot of root mass that actually was rotting and going anaerobic. And I don't want all that root mass. So what we want to do is we want faster growing things like the greens, like the lettuces that we have here in the broccoli rabe, which I don't like. But the faster growing things, and that's what I'm doing planting now. Now you can't see next to me, I've got 3 big beautiful kale plants that we're just stripping as we need leaves from it. But we're going to plant all the greens in here, and I'll have these greens available for people locally as well as for Debbie and I. Right now she's had so many greens she begged me today, please don't give me anything green to eat, which is a shame, but we only have really this right here that has to be eaten up. But we're planting for the wartime economy. We're planting so that we can eat and have vitamins and minerals and food for ourselves right now. And that's what you need to think about doing. You need to get going on that. Now there's a lot more. A lot of things we've been doing here. You'd be shocked when you see some of the stuff I've been doing, and we're going to get into that in the next videos. I wanted to just say this to let you know, first of all, I'm not dead. Nothing's happened. I've just been extremely busy with all these things that are non-COVID-19 related, and then now having to deal with, luckily there's nothing really I have to deal with, so I can't get coffee cream. Why you're hoarding coffee cream, I don't know, but stop doing it. And toilet paper, but I made my monthly trips to the store. I've just been busy, and I love to show you what I've been busy doing, and we're going to start with those videos tomorrow. But I wanted to do this one today. So guys, remember what I said. Be safe, of course. But I gave you some common sense. Now whether you use it or not, it's up to you, but at least it's out there. We planted the seeds. And speaking of planting seeds, get your Victory Garden going. We need to call it a Victory Garden because I don't care what the guy with the dead raccoon on his head that's sitting at our White House right now says. This ain't going to be over in a couple of months. I can tell you that because I heard about what a pandemic is really like from people that lived through the last one 102 years ago. We're in for the long haul, guys. Get going. And I'll see you in the next video. It'll be more upbeat, and we're going to talk about a lot of the things that are going on, a vlog and a couple of videos. I'm even going to do a product review. And that'll be next. So until then, it's Robert Earl out here at the Eco Ranch Sustainable Living Educational Center in Far West Texas saying, see you later.